Now, what's important when you get on the call is the questions that you ask. Here's an example. Thanks for making the time. Here's where I'm at. Give them one sentence about your situation. I've identified a few possible directions. This is where you're going to use your professional brand exercise from episode 2. Remember that? The person that you want to be known for? I wanted your perspective because, and then a specific reason why you value their opinion. So the next question, based on what you know about me and the market right now, what would you do if you were me? Then shut up and listen. They'll talk for way longer than 2 minutes because you've asked a good question. You haven't asked for a job, you've asked for advice. And a little mantra I want you to remember is that if you ask for a job, you'll get advice. And if you ask for advice, you'll get a job. Now at the end, you want to say something along the lines of, hey, this is really helpful. Is there anyone else you think I should talk to? Now, here's the cool thing about taking this approach. You won't even have to ask for other people to speak to, because the way that most people are wired is that they really want to help. And once you ask somebody for their advice and opinion, and they tell you what they think you should do, they feel some form of obligation to make that happen for you. And so the beauty of this approach is that you're going to expand your network of tier 1 and tier 2 people organically. So here's how it actually all works in practice. When you ask people for 2 minutes, they'll ask you to go for a coffee. When you ask someone for advice and their honest opinion, they'll give it. I've never met a single person who didn't enjoy telling me what they really thought. Remember that as soon as somebody says, hey, Dexter, I think you should do X, they're going to feel responsible for helping me to do it. And they'll usually follow up with, hey, let me introduce you to Y. This is the compound effect of networking. The sad thing is, nearly everybody else misses out on these opportunities because they go in hard on the first email, asking for a job, sharing a resume, or asking for a meeting, when what they really need to do first is get someone's attention. The 2-minute ask gets attention. The honest conversation creates investment. The investment creates introductions, and the introductions create opportunities. And that's how networks actually work. Now, let me tell you a little story about trust. I was at a networking event many years ago, talking to the CFO of an ASX-listed financial services company, one of my clients, and we were having a very pleasant chat. A sales rep rudely pushed past me and announced himself to the CEO, trying to push his business card into her hand. She calmly put her hands behind her back and said, you don't need to give me that. What you need to do is find someone I know and trust and have them give it to me. Brutal, but fair, because this guy was rude. But it taught me a valuable lesson about trust and networks. Most people blow so hard trying to force connections and build trust and credibility from scratch. Cold emails, cold LinkedIn messages, cold introductions, forcing business cards on strangers at events. They're trying to build trust with someone who doesn't know them. That takes months, sometimes years. But there's a shortcut. Leverage the relationships you already have. When your former boss introduces you to their colleague, you don't start at 0, you start at 50, 60, 70%. You borrow their trust, their credibility, and their relationship capital, and you invest it. And that's why the warm introduction is 10 times more powerful than cold outreach. The CEO didn't want a business card from a stranger. But if someone she trusted had said, you should meet this person, they're excellent at X, she would take that meeting immediately. The same applies to you, so stop trying to cold email your way into companies and start asking your critical 5% for introductions. Who else should I be talking to? That's one question that unlocks warm introductions to people you'd never reach out to on your own. And you arrive pre-endorsed, and that's the fastest way to build trust and credibility. Not by forcing it, but by borrowing it from people who already have it with the person you need to meet. So as we wrap up, let's remember that 95% of your results will come from 5% of your network. So stop trying to network with everyone. Filter your network into tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3